Bobber, he's got our next week one headline, and this is one that's gonna ruffle some feathers. This is not my prediction now. Folks in Boulder, before you get after us, this is not my prediction. So before you comment, hater, this, that, the other, not my prediction. But we're gonna unpack it. Bobber says North Dakota State runs wild, and they beat Colorado in week one. Now let's be clear, North Dakota State is not your run-in-the-mill FCS team. North Dakota State right now has the second best odds to win the FCS National Championship. So that's a good football team. Colorado is favored by 9.5 points. To give you some perspective, Georgia is favored over Clemson, a team that has the second best odds to win the ACC by right around 2 touchdowns. So the spread isn't telling you that Colorado is going to blow the doors off North Dakota State. That's Vegas' opinion. College football fans, make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. We have a massive year ahead of us. A lot of storylines, new college football playoff. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want y'all a part of this college football sicko community. So we appreciate y'all in advance for being subscribed. If Colorado were to lose this game, it would be a lot of things. It would be embarrassing. It would be discouraging. It would, I think, take the wind out of your sails quite a bit if you are a Colorado fan, because you look to the future and you're like, golly, we can't beat North Dakota State, and we got to go play the rest of the Big 12. Like, are you kidding me? It would mean a lot of things, I think, internally for you as a fan. But what does it actually mean when it comes to playing the next week? In my opinion, not a whole heck of a lot. And I'm not trying to minimize losing to an FCS team your first game of the season, because, y'all, there is no world where Colorado should lose this game. We're doing predictions next week. I'll tell you right now, I'm not predicting Colorado to lose to North Dakota State. That's not going to be even a game we break down, I don't believe, all that much. But at the exact same time, like, Auburn wasn't supposed to lose to New Mexico State. So you see where I'm coming from. But here's what I think we need to take away from this if this does happen. If Colorado does somehow lose to North Dakota State the first game of the year. It does not mean that Colorado is a bad football team. Contrary to what social media will try to tell you after the game, doesn't mean that. It also doesn't mean that Colorado won't go on to make a bowl game, which, again, I believe is success for them in 2024. Becomes a little more difficult because that was the ones you probably penciled in as a W for you if you're a Colorado fan as part of that 6-win plus effort to make a bowl game. Doesn't mean that can't still happen. It also does not mean that Coach Prime isn't cut out for college football. It doesn't mean that. Okay? I'm not telling you those things are all, not still on the table, but it doesn't mean that. Okay? How this would happen is Colorado, again, who should be superior from a talent perspective, will be superior at quarterback, will be superior on the perimeter. Like, there is not a situation where Colorado should lose this game. But if it happens, what does that mean? It means that Colorado, quite frankly, wasn't ready to play. It means internally Colorado did not do the things, whether it was during the week, whether it was leading up to the game, whether it was an emotional or an approach to the game itself. Like, Colorado did not bring their A game. That's how they would get beat here. And so if that happens, you say, okay, this is a team that's still trying to figure out how to win and how to consistently compete. Because this is the deal now. The great teams in college football, the ones that win conference titles, they do not care what the other logo is. It could be that Georgia logo. It could be North Dakota State. It could be Cornell. It does not matter who's on the other sideline. They focus on themselves. They don't focus on the external noise. They do their thing. And so if Colorado does go out there and cover that spread, and let's say they win by a couple touchdowns, okay, that's a step in the right direction. That's encouraging to me if I'm trying to piece together what Colorado's going to be in 2024, that, okay, this was a game they very easily could have overlooked. FCS team, it's the opener. We're still trying to get our sea legs out there, and they handle business. That would be encouraging to me. The matchup to watch, and this is kind of the matchup to always watch, quite frankly, if you're trying to figure out who's going to win a football game, but especially for Colorado, what they did last year, stopping the run, is not going to cut it this year. It's not. They know that in Boulder. Allowed 175 yards on the ground last year per game. Not good enough. North Dakota State happens to major in running the football. They average 230-plus yards a game. So for Colorado, I don't need you to hold them to like double-digit rushing yards. That'd be great, but I need to see some improvement. Because as much as this isn't going to be like a Big 12 outfit from North Dakota State, it's still going to be, I believe, a decent test for you in the trenches. Now, Colorado, I mentioned that number that they allowed last season on the ground. That's a big reason why they went to the portal. So it's going to be a very different front seven for them, just so we're all on the same page. But for Colorado, I'm not predicting them to lose, but if they do lose, there's going to be a lot of headlines, a lot of emotion. Stay calm, deep breath in, deep breath out. The next thing is the next thing. But again, I think Colorado wins that game. I'm just curious to see their approach and what that run defense looks like. That's going to be massive. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.